and country music facts and trivia. Today's video, now I'm going to honestly say some of these I'm going to disagree with. I found this list and I just thought it was interesting. 7 80s country hits that are now considered offensive. We'll begin with Nag Nag Nag, Bobby Braddock. Bobby Braddock is well known as the songwriter behind the iconic country songs such as He Stopped Loving Her Today, Golden Ring, and I Want to Talk About Me. He also released 3 albums as a solo artist. His second, which is a novelty album, was a 1980s love bomb, contained the track Nag Nag Nag. Braddock released the song as a single that same year, and it reached the 87th spot on what is now the Hot Country charts. Some listeners now consider Nag 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 offensive because of its condescending tone. The narrator talks down to his lover, saying all she does is nag and critique him. At one point, he even sings, "Sometimes I'd like to shove you." The song ends with the sound of a gunshot, implying that the woman's nagging prompted the narrator to take his own life. Since Love Bomb was a novelty album, it seems Braddock was trying to be funny with Nag Nag Nag. But a lot of these listeners nowadays, they're not going to agree. Scarlet Fever by Kenny Rogers. Mike Deckel wrote the song Scarlet Fever, which Kenny Rogers recorded for his new album, We've Got Tonight. Rogers released the song as a third single in June of '83. Scarlet Fever reached the 5th spot on the U.S. Hot Country song chart and the 4th spot on Canadian RPM country track charts. It also crossed over to claim the 94th spot on the all-genre Billboard Hot 100 charts. The song with his narrator longing after a nightclub dancer named Scarlet. While they never speak, he finds himself infatuated with her, singing, "Every night I'd dream she'd fall in love with me." The song ends in the narrator feeling heartbroken after learning that Scarlet left the nightclub to pursue better things. While those lyrics make many people uncomfortable, the real kicker comes when the narrator reveals that he thought Scarlet looked 25 but learned she was only 16. Considering the subject matter, it's easy to understand why Scarlet Fever is one of the 80s country hit listeners find offensive. Charlie Daniels Band, Simple Man. They released Simple Man in '89 as the lead single from the album of the same title. The song was written by Charlie, Taz Gregorio, I never could pronounce his name, Jack Gavin, and Charles Hayward. The track reached the 12th spot on the U.S. Country Songs chart and the 15th spot on the country chart in Canada. Listeners connected with the lyrics about a simple man who's upset about all the dishonesty, corruption, and crime in the world. While the sentiment still rings true with many modern listeners, other lyrics don't resonate similarly. Narrator proposes using violence to handle criminals like drug dealers, saying how if he'd had his way, he'd hang him in a tree and let him swing. Narrator later suggests that more serious criminals be taken to the swamp tied to a stump and let the rattlers and the bugs and the alligators do the rest. Do You Love As Good As You Look, the Bellamy Brothers. Jerry Gillespie, Charlie Black, and Rory Burke wrote Do You Love As Good As You Look. The Bellamy Brothers recorded the track and released it in 1981 as a second single from their album Sons of the Sun. Do You Love As Good As You Look reached the #1 spot. It reached 4th place on the country chart in Canada. The song features a narrator singing about a beautiful woman with long blonde hair and blue eyes, and they fall head over heels for her and wonder if she loves as good as you look. Today, some listeners feel these lyrics are offensive and objectifying. Tokyo, Oklahoma. Mac Vickery wrote Tokyo, Oklahoma with John Anderson, turned into a hit. Anderson made the song the title track of his '85 album. He also released the song as a single, reached the 30th spot, and claimed the 33rd position of the country chart in Canada. Narrator in Tokyo, Oklahoma lives in Oklahoma while the woman he loves is in Japan. Calls her on the phone and eventually finds himself flying on a plane to see her in person. When they meet at the airport, he asks her to marry him and she agrees. Nowadays, some people are offended by the language used in the song when describing the woman. The narrator also seems to sing a stereotypical Japanese accent, which offends a fair number of more modern listeners. Where's the Dress? Mo Bandy and Joe Stampley. George Cummings, Buck Lindsey, and Tony Stampley wrote Where's the Dress? Mo and Joe recorded the song and released it in 1984. Reached the 8th spot on both the U.S. and Canadian country charts. The song was written as a parody of the band Culture Club and its lead vocalist, Boy George. The song's narrators wonder if they should follow in Boy George's lead and dress in a similar fashion, seeing it as a potential key to success. Bandy and Staffy wore dresses and earrings when they promoted the song, and they dressed similarly for the single's cover art. Nowadays, some people are offended by lyrics in the 80s country hit. Some listeners feel the song make fun of those who wear more general neutral clothing. Hank Williams Jr., if the South would have won. Hank Williams Jr. has never been afraid of ruffling a few feathers. His larger-than-life attitude is a big reason why he has so many fans. He's considered a country music icon. He released a self-penned song, If the South Would Have Won, in '88. The song served as a lead single from his album Wild Streak. Reached the 8th spot on the Hot Country charts, 22nd spot on the country chart in Canada. Narrator sings about the different the United States would have been if the South would have won the Civil War. Some of the changes he imagines are having all cars made in the Carolinas instead of China, printing his dad, Hank Williams, on the $100 bill and moving the Supreme Court to Texas. Many modern listeners find these lyrics in the song as whole to be offensive since they glamorize what country could have been like after a Confederate victory. Okay, more than not, it's ridiculous. And if you're offended, I don't care. We've grown into a country where if you're offended by something, it's just the worst thing in the world. I'm sorry. It's most of this stuff is like parody anyway, and it's satire. And they're over exaggerating how they feel, like Charlie Daniels. He's not literally going to kill somebody for doing drugs. And he would never go for that. And there's nothing about slavery in the one that Hank Williams Jr. did. And Where's the Dress was a parody. It was funny. It was a really funny song. And people are way too offended about too much. And man, if they'd had to live back in the 70s and 80s or beyond before that, they never made it. They'd have they ain't a song on there except for the first one I've never heard, Nag Nag Nag. I never heard it. But the rest of them are like some of my favorite songs. What's that say about me? All I got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I got a kick out of it anyway. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please like this video. Appreciate it. You have a great day. God bless you. And I'm praying for you.